Hello and good morning. One of the things I want to talk about today are our experiences on Adrian Beyond the Classroom with cinema and how important it was to us when we were growing up in the 60s. Now, I remember my very first film when I was about 7, 8 years old, when I was in Germany in RAF Larbruck. And we went to the cinema there. That was the RAF base one. So it was a fantastic cinema. And the very first film that I remember seeing was The Fall of the Roman Empire. Now, you've got to remember, I was only a young lad. And when I went to see this film was an epic. It was incredibly long, but it was about things I loved. It was about soldiers. I had lots of toy soldiers, and this was Roman soldiers. It was about Rome and what happened to Rome, and it was a fantastic experience. So what I want to ask is, what were your experiences in the 60s, 1963 to 66? This will be the last in this decade, as I'll move on to the next decade after this video. But this is a way that we connect. We are all connected by entertainment and what we were doing in those periods of time. We could go on about TV and how we watched television and what our favorites were then. But I want to actually just focus on the cinema experience, because this was something that was groundbreaking in the 60s. And it was something where we suddenly saw the emergence of superstar film stars who were based in the world, in Hollywood mostly, but we have a kind of a conflict between the British actors and the American actors. They were equally as effective and as powerful, but some people would say that the British actors, a lot of them were trained in theatrical skills and had the sort of ultimate sort of apprenticeship. And we had major sort of iconic figures. Now, what film stars can you think of that were in the 60s and were dominating the film industry? So that is something really important to look at, and what happened there. What type of genre of film do you like? I love anything that's spy. So I was obviously a Bond fan as I was growing up, and Sean Connery, the very first Bond movie, 1962, Dr. No. And then I used to love spy movies as well, all action packed for me. And one of them was the incredible, iconic Michael Caine, who did a series of very sort of dark Cold War films like the Icarus File, Funeral in Berlin, things like that. And then from there on, we would sort of see different things going on. But my feeling is this: what did you do? What sort of things did you eat in the cinema? Can you remember what local cinema you went to? Who did you go with? What actually was it? Was it a first date that you went on? The thing is, it's important to know and recall what we did and how we were overwhelmed. And can you remember, and this is more of a worrying thing, when we used to sit in a cinema that was smoke filled, lots of people smoking. You imagine what that was doing to us. But I can obviously remember, as life goes on, lots of things about the cinema, about the ice cream, the ushers, the people who take you in. It was all very traditional. And I do believe at one point, I remember, well, I was a little bit older, I remember at the end of the film in the 60s, everybody would stand up and do the national anthem. But actually, a lot of people would get out before that happened. Anyway, the most important thing here, and please do get involved, go to the comments below and look at what I would like to hear from you. Remember, this is all about you. It's not about me. It's my reflections as well, but I want to hear yours. Thank you very much.